I was walking and it was freezing cold. I just heard this male voice and he's like, "Do you need a ride?"
I was in and out of recovery houses at that point. I had no house, I had no money. He's like, "You could stay here, stay in the office." And I thought, this guy's really looking out for me. All of that changed within a week.
There was no red flags about him, and this is the best predator. They'll prey on their victims before they pounce.
You need to have three things in order to prove the crime of human trafficking. You need to have an act, only one of those acts. It has to be done by the means of force, fraud, or coercion, getting someone to do something against their will for the purpose of a commercial sex act.
He sold me a dream. He sold me my salvation. What I needed in my life was happiness. So he had picked out some lingerie, and then he's like, "All right, so we need to take some pictures of you." And he posted the ad on Backpage.
If I said no, he would get pissed off and he would get extremely violent with me.
What is a commercial sex act? It's when anything of value is exchanged for a sex act. It doesn't have to be money. It can be clothing, shelter, safety, drugs, a whole myriad of things that have value.
It was a friendship in the beginning. He was funny. He cracked me up, like we would just joke around all the time. He was just a nice guy. I felt safe with him.
He came off as like a very charming, nice guy. Very sociable, easy to talk to.
With this grooming process, he had to do all the first steps: the trust, the kindness, the humor, the funny, the loyalty. He didn't just stand up over me and point a gun at my head. They prey on those that they know they can control.
The internet is the new street corner, and technology is a huge way that people are bought and sold for sex and also recruited.
We know that traffickers and exploiters are spending time where vulnerable people are spending time. And again, that's on the internet. So we know that oftentimes maybe they're reaching out on Instagram and they're friending all of your friends or following them so that they don't seem like a stranger. And they slowly start to build this safety net, this friendship over time. And then they move the chat to Snapchat or somewhere where it's not as easily traceable. And then it moves to meeting up in person. So I think the more that we educate caregivers around that, instead of just giving kids cell phones and not seeing who they're spending time with, where they're spending their time, talking to them about safety, and then just educating everyone about safe technology use is super important.
The bottom line of all of this is that trauma is defined by the experience of the survivor. The core issue is that people feel unsafe in their bodies. Why should we adopt a trauma-informed practice? We know it results in more trusting relationships, better results. We know that social service providers have a responsibility to mitigate stigma and stereotypes. And we know that this type of approach encourages self-care to mitigate vicarious trauma that we could all experience. So how do you work with the client? We work on the 5 core values of trauma-informed care of social work. We start with physical and emotional safety. We ensure that trustworthiness is not something we ever say to our clients, "You have to trust us." We have to earn it. Being clear in expectations, providing consistent service delivery, maintaining boundaries is really important. Our clients drive the bus. We give them the choice and hopefully the ability to make the choices regarding their legal issues. We collaborate with our clients. They're part of the team. We work for them. And it's really important that they feel as though they are part of this process. And at the end of it, that they feel empowered and not beaten down by the system.